And happy Star Wars Friday, everyone. I am glad to be here with you. Your boy's coming in a bit of a hot mess right now, man. I cannot even lie. We have not eaten. We have had way too much caffeine. Um, and we have Star Wars Friday happening. That's what we have. Star Wars Friday with 3 book reviews today. One is a new book review. 2 are revisits. One I will go gush about for a little bit. The other, maybe not. Ooh, that hurt. Maybe not as much. On that note, I will be on the M Nerdiverse Live podcast tonight. I'm sure we will be talking about all the things of the week. And I'm not sure what's happened this week. Oh no, I've been in Mortal Kombat land. I have absolutely no idea what's happened this week. So, on that note, should be a fun episode. But our first book review to hop right in is going to be Star Wars X-Wing number 8, Isards Revenge. Fantastic series. I wound up reading book 9 before book 8, so I was a bit confused, and there is a little bit of a gap there that is completely unexplained, but whatever. What we have in Isard's Revenge is, I mean, we all laugh at, oh, the Emperor's returned, right? But clones is such a prevalent thing in Star Wars. So essentially, Isard is back, and actually, she never went away. And she has a clone, and her clone is giving the orders, and thus the X-Wing, Wraith Squadron, Rogue Squadron crew does find out about it, and they put together a tad bit of a alliance with Isard to take down Jinja, one of the um, greater Imperial general threats out there at this time. And so, shenanigans do ensue. There is quite a bit of action in this book. There's quite a bit of setup. Again, the entire time I was thinking Starfighters of Admilar, which was a fantastic book, but events in that book were almost like in that book, Wedge is already a general or already been a general for a while. In this book, he's like just becoming a general. So there's a couple of things that are different. Overall, it took a minute to get through this book simply because the audiobook version on YouTube was not necessarily the best. But another solid entry into the Wedge Antilles Rogue Squadron 10-book series. I did hop into Mercy Kill, which is the last book, yesterday, last night, and I've never been so lost in my life. Like, we fast forward to 42 ABY, which, if you're keeping track of the timeline, what is that one? Ray, I'm a Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker is like 38 ABY in canon. So this is taking place in 44 ABY. I want to say it's about as far as I've ever been in the Star Wars universe, and there is such a massive time jump from this book to Mercy Kill that I had to stop reading it. We're not going to get there for a while. They mentioned 6 or 7 generals I'd never heard of. There were 3 or 4 wars and takeovers and conflicts, major conflicts, that had happened. Jason Solo had already come and gone, and they were dealing with the remnants of that whole thing. So for the time being, because I haven't touched any of that. I know nothing. I was completely lost, and we're so far ahead of time that these characters have like retired, started to dislike each other, and absolutely want nothing to do with fighting or anything of that nature, or war or anything. So I made it about, I want to say about two chapters in, and I actually had to end up calling it because it was like this is not going to be a solid read for me. Um, so, Isards Revenge is where the Wedge and Tilly series will end for me. And overall, this series, book 1 through 8, freaking fantastic. There is not a bad book in there. I would say that my favorites are going to be the Krotos virus. Starfighters of Admiral is just freaking fantastic. I mean, Hunger Games with Wedge Antilles. You just don't see it coming. So, I would say that the disappointing part about this isn't that Isard is back necessarily, but it's relatively kind of anticlimactic for what a foe she was, and for them to, a most unusual alliance. It's like this is kind of weird, and I do hope that they turn it into a longer version, whatever they're calling those, and addendums. These days, that'd be great if they just did this whole series and made like a friggin' 72-hour like book series. That'd be freaking fantastic, but they're probably not going to do that. So X-Wing Isard's Revenge, it probably deserves a 4 out of 5, but considering I got to it after the last book, it just isn't that for me. So we are going to end up rating this a 3 out of 5. Solid book though, can't complain. Was really looking forward to Mercy Kill, but we're just not going to get there. Oh, Criddle, not Jinja. Jinja's the other one. So Admiral Criddle's camp. So, book 2, Revisit, Bad Batch, Sanctuary. We're not going to take too long on this because I did review it already. We did give it a 3 out of 5. I do want to say, my first time through this book, it didn't quite live up to my very high hopes, and that's going to be a downfall, I suppose. Is wanting more when you see something on screen and then it's brought to a book. But I'm going to say that I went into it for a reread for a multiple reasons, because normally I would take a longer breath, considering this just came out last year. I did finish it twice, so it can't be that bad, right? Um, After rewatching my last rewatch of Bad Batch, which is like my fifth, sixth, seventh, somewhere up in there, time of watching that, throughout this book, it was at a level 10, like the noise level. It was just a loud book. There's always explosions going on, which, that is the Bad Batch, like that is. But one of my complaints about this was that Hunter was kind of a pill, right? Hunter is pretty much just not happy throughout the entire book, and you're kind of a downer to travel with. I am going to readjust that a little bit, because after watching Bad Batch, you know what? Hunter's not necessarily happy in the Bad Batch the entire time either. He's kind of a buzzkill, and I know that's what Sid calls Echo. She's like buzzkill, but he he's very true to his character in this book and that, and for that reason, this is why I'm revisiting this right now. I may put out a new updated review, but I do think that that is a tad bit more on the nose, and thus, what was a flaw is no longer a flaw. So, definitely worth a read. The story is still a bit. It's good. I like the premise of it. It just never really It grabs me at any point, mainly because probably because like the main characters, like no one's super likable in this book. This is one of those books like the Empire series right after the fall of the Empire that's just like, yeah, no one's super happy in this series whatsoever. So, if that's what you're dealing with for 12 to 14 hours, yeah, that's kind of what you're going to get. And our last and final book review, The Living Force. There's a reason we are revisiting this. And I gushed about it last week. So if you were here last week or rewatching this, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry for all of my rewatchers. Um, Sorry to keep doing that as well. The reason we're revisiting this is because I did not understand the title of this book. When you look at this cover, and you can get a little bit up there. Yeah, I've tried this before with Goodreads. That's good as we're going to get right now. When you look at this cover, you are expecting laser swords, the Force, all crazy spaceships. You're expecting all of it. That is not what this book is. That's not what this book was ever meant to be, and that is my terrible expectation looking at a cover of a book. Dope cover. Probably would like this on my wall. It is super cool. But what this book is about is helping people. And I think that in today's environment, I think that this gets at the heart of a lot of what Star Wars was about, especially when I talk about things like Plagueis setting up pretty much having it all make sense off of Plagueis. Like, all of it makes sense. The conflicts, everything, what we're doing here right now in Star Wars, it makes sense because of that book. That said, The Living Force also is a valid read because, like, Jedi is not just about being laser sorting and using the Force and, like, destroying things. They are not generals, commanders, and we hear it echoed in property after property after property. Barris said it. So there's validity to um, the hubris, as Mike G likes to say, about the Jedi, and I guess a lot of folks like to say. This book takes a step back from all of this, and all the Jedi do is go help people. And it's the living force. And if you are a meditative person, which I try to be, probably not there currently, but um, when Qui-Gon is talking to Obi-Wan in episode 1 and he says be mindful of the living force, like, what's around you, who's around you immediately, how can you help one person? And that's what this book was. Essentially, the council got together, Qui-Gon came in, said, you know what, we're not really paying that much attention to things. Maybe we should get back in touch with the people. And it turns into a Jedi road trip. And they all go to a planet and they help people. And yes, there is laser sorting in it. There is a ton of action in it. The bad guy is probably one of the second most, not vicious, yeah, vicious. Third, because you got that dude from the Kanan book with Hera. He just pushes him into a vat of acid. Efficiency. Like, what? But this bad guy is just about one of as vicious as they come. I definitely put her up there with the Martian Rose. She has a good plan. It's all about a gang or a couple of gangs who, they're gang they're having a gang war with each other. One tries to take over and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to ruin it. Go read the freaking book. Why do you need to read this book? Because I gave this thing a 3. I don't know what I said. Let's see what I said. It's a mixed bag. Centered around field trip, ultra cool. Execution somewhat sloppy, causing the story to fall flat. Like, I am embarrassed to have said those words about this book and had them posted for this long, and I hope no one read them because what's that? It was just last summer. So, if you're looking for more impactful or interesting revelations, there are other books to consider. No, no, there's really not. There is nothing more impactful than when Ahsoka and Anakin are talking in Ahsoka in the war scene, and she's like, "Is that all I am? Is just a warrior?" And he's like, "No, because I'm more than that." And it's like it's not about war. What are we before war? And that's what this book is about. It takes place, I'd probably say, a year maybe before the events of episode 1, because Jedi road trips don't fix everything. So, I do want to revisit this book. I am going to be upgrading this book to a 5 out of freaking 5. I went from a 3 to a 5 because I'm a moron. That's it. That's it. My expectations were wrong, and if you look at this cover and you go, ooh, laser swords, just temper the expectations. Great story, but there's something behind it that I think is really cool and not something in my 200 not yeah 200 plus books of Star Wars that I found. So, John Jackson Miller, that's good on you, man. Great book, Star Wars: The Living Force. So those are our 3 book reviews. I have went a little bit long in the tooth for this podcast, so we will get on to our game. And this is not a podcast. This is a stream. And we are not playing Marvel Snap. I will be on the Nerdiverse Live podcast tonight, 8 p.m. Central. Now, I'm probably going to stop talking, and we will be streaming for approximately maybe 40 minutes. Probably 30. Because I need to eat. I have podcast prep, and honestly, I have not really sat down yet. It has been a freaking day. My fingers are numb. Hopefully that's not a problem. Big E! Star Wars Friday! Welcome, my friend. If you just joined us, you might have just missed the book reviews. And I'm sorry. How are you this Friday? What are we doing? Nice! Excellent! I am glad that you were able to see that. Um, yeah, some good books, man. Some good books. I can't tell you how, like, out of sorts I was with Mercy Kill. I cannot even begin to tell you. I jumped into that book and had no idea what's going on. And when you've read as much Star Wars and lived in that world as much as I have, it's like, what? How do I not know anything that is currently happening here? Where's the Merchant Circle? Apparently they're not going to show us. Oh! Happy birthday! You got cake? I hope you have cake, bro. Do you have a birthday meal?
Have any work that needs to be done?
Like a favorite meal? Ah, you got ice cream. There you go. Well, a happy birthday, my friend. That's excellent. I love a good birthday. Oh, the exchange? Yeah. That seems reasonable. We had an issue in the first game. A Coke float. Yeah, great. Love that. Ooh. Unfortunately, my freezer doesn't keep ice cream cold once it gets above, I don't know, like 10. But I do have a slice cake. I made some cake last night, so I will have a slice of cake in your honor. I hope. Our stream is just what the nonsense. Not sure what all that was about. Let me know if you still have the stream or if something happened. You no longer have it. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. You all just died, so. Yeah, that'll be nice. How old are you gonna be, man?
Yes?
Can we do better this time, everyone? Oh, my fingers are a little numb.
Wisommo godosi sheba dentes kun mostovi gite yavach, piktareshan.
27?
Da come giusmak miki baranye doso so rika chondin, wana magrable mogo.
27?
Yat kavadum.
Am I close? 24! Yeah, man. Love a good guess. Oh, that's why we died. We had... Oh, shit. Like, whoa. Holy smokes. Alright. Things are not going well. We have the wrong crew. Okay, everybody. I am not sure. You are dying very quickly. Okay. Oh, we did get health back. That's useful. We didn't have them for so long. Now you died. So stupid. I always eat tacos on my birthday. I guess I don't talk about them a lot because I haven't had them since I left really California. Unfortunately. I mean, I'll make them occasionally, but, you know, nothing better than a freaking good taco. Yeah, we're just gonna save that. I do not feel like doing this again. Oh, it's 4-1-1. That's super not helpful. Don't die. Don't die. Thank God for this corner. How's the weather there this time of year? It was literally snowing today. Yeah, I was like looking at the sky going, are those really? Really? That is completely useless. Not a good time to mess. Don't die. Don't die. I probably should not have chanced any of that. Why is everybody so weak? It's your fault, man. You're controlling them. Ugh. Really? Weren't expecting any of that. I have not watched Maul yet this week. That's a downer. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow, though. That's the type of week it's been. Like, I did not get to watch Maul. Like, Maul was Monday. It's literally Friday. You guys got good loot. I'll take a plasma grenade, man. Those things are awesome. I started playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes again. I don't know what terrible squad I'm in, but they're awful and they don't really do anything. So I'm gonna have to get out of that group and find someone that does. Oh, other Star Wars news that I found out. Did you know, in canon, Poe Dameron's mom was one of Luke's Jedi? What? What? Yeah, no, I didn't know that either. I did not know that either. I started reading
General,
the Poe
we have found them
Dameron
again.
book.
Have we, Tobin? Or is this a preface to another of your failures?
What's it called?
Consider the whole field, Tobin.
Freefall.
Why would a Jedi risk
And it is
all this
mentioned
just
there.
to come to Isards?
The crew of the Ebon Hawk is elusive, General. We were warned about that, but we still underestimated them. But the fools are here, in Isards. The intel on this is certain. I'm ordering men loyal to us to take care of them now.
I think I have an idea. Hold that order. Have him watched instead. The Jedi may prove a solution to another one of our persistent problems.
Apparently, her and his father was like high up in the rebellion. I don't remember exactly because I was blown away by the mom, so I think I just like lost it. But she was really good friends with Leia, which is why he was able to get away with what he was able to get away with. And she only stunned him, you know what I mean? Okay, where's the doctor? No, I don't see a doctor anywhere there. Where is... I mean...
You're that swoop biker, right? My friend says you should go pro.
Bro, I have not ridden a swoop. I rode a swoop one time. Need a doctor. Is there a doctor in the house?
Back again, Off-Worlder? I'm sure you have a... We certainly do. He and several other people were picked up in connection... Captain Sulio. She was in charge of the Starport checkpoint. A good soldier. Your friend was one of the last people that saw her alive. So far, he's just a suspect. But if he did it, the punishment...
Dagon Kent is the only person I know with the contacts to help us out. We need...
Until we either eliminate him as a suspect or find the real killer. Dagon has quite a record with the authorities. The Colonel thinks that murder... No way. We're under orders to make sure no one sees the murder suspects. Command is... I know Dagon personally. He's one of the worst doctors I've ever heard of. But I can't see him deliberately killing someone. He was one of the last people seen with Captain Sulio in the cantina. Ask around there. I've heard he's got a good motive for killing her. If you can somehow clear that up and prove it wasn't him... What else? Stay.
And we have to go back to the cantina. And I also did start reading the next... I can't freaking believe it. I was looking at the High... Not looking, I accidentally saw my High Republic list. I think I got like 8 freaking books left. I'm like 16, 17 books in, man. This series is ridiculously large. Ridiculously large. That is way better than the last book that we were reading. And, you know, they do that intentionally, and I get it. That's fine. Everybody needs a bit of a breather from all the tense and action. But the last book was not awesome. It was a low tube. It's not good. Hey! Alright, well, glad to see I'm not the only one with a little snow. It didn't stick. I am glad you have some warm weather on your birthday, though. Especially in May. That would be terrible if you were like, oh, yeah, don't worry about the weather.
This room is reserved. If you ask me, she got what she deserved. She looked down on us beast riders. Good riddance. You're flaming right, I do. The night she made the great flight, she ripped Dagon apart. Not literally, but we could hear her laying into him over here. We got a good laugh at it. Dagon was so mad he was sputtering. Then he... I know his face, it's about... She's a beast rider like me and our leader. You better never be speaking ill.
Somehow I believe you. God bless. Happy birthday, my friend. Enjoy it. Eat all the ice cream and Coke floats. At least have 3. At least. Instant diabetes. You're good to go. Don't even worry about it. And thank you for stopping by. And thank you for stopping by.
Oh,
you know what? We're not dealing with that yet. Nope.
I thought it was you. I served in the Mandalorian Wars with you. You're a Jedi, right?
Try to be.
I was one of the ground troops. We fought on Daggery Minor together. It was near the beginning of the war. We didn't win that battle. Enough of the past. The whole galaxy isn't safe for Jedi now, especially here. Onderon has suffered through 3 wars started by fallen Jedi. Do you? That's the first good. I was sent by the Republic Senate to investigate certain delicate matters that are happening on Onderon. It's worse than we feared. I have to get to Coruscant to deliver my report. But days before I was planning to leave, they started requiring starport visas. I really can't say. The most I will say is stay clear of General Vaklu. And Vaklu may very well win if I can't. Thank you for the tip. The journey to Coruscant would be more costly and attract more attention. But there are many freighters bound for Telos. What do you want to know about? Dagon. Because he was with me at the time. It's quite simple. Right now, he's accused of murder. If he's convicted, the sentence is death. If he's accused of espionage, let's say assisting a Republic spy, then the penalty for that is death. I'm afraid the Onderonians are quite fond of their death penalty. So if I was with Dagon in his office at the time of the murder, we were taking great pains not to be seen, which has a certain irony to it, really. If you can free him, please. I only wish there was something.
Assuming we get Dagon free, we're going to have a few private words about this. Together, we fought against the Republic during the Mandalorian Wars.
I don't particularly like the idea that he's working for them now.
I would have traded you the visa just to make my life a tad easier.
Welcome back.
Charanana guloso remina. Rakto kuro katpada. Kevra tora pada no ringa tel kamarada tera fibu.
I mean, that is the entire cantina, isn't it? So I may have to take that deal.
Now, what do you order? I'll just guess.
Malampro tarawanti casa. Kawana bota. Dahupa bot. Kavadumpa munsuru kupla liyawa. Bo bagaragawanda ya. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Chone mulera. Tonkinge ba no jansaka nikaraska. Tanzan mungachinor ta imbrei wanachike. Drumba bambwa. Contichan munka. Kavadumpa munsuru kupla liyawa. Bo bagaragawanda yaitua ulwanji yuma. Dovre Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata. Kavadumpa munsuru kupla liyawa. Dahupa, boss. Mulibrawa, iberendi.
We'll see. Yeah, that was everybody in the cantina. So,
Do you have a visa yet? I'm still paying very well. I really can't be any help with that. I might have been in the same detention cell that night that Dagon's in now. The soldiers were asking me some entertaining questions that night. I've got no... Let's just say I'm one of their usual suspects.
Good to see you again. What do you want?
yeah, that's not gonna do it. Oh, we didn't talk to him. Yeah, we just talked to them. We just talked to them. Alright, well, this is turning out to be quite the interesting stream, huh? Yeah,
Welcome
Nico.
back.
There you
Foul
go.
business, that is. Know him. He's probably my best friend on this planet. Honestly, he's not a very good doctor. She did? Oh no, by the four moons, what a mix-up. They got it all wrong. Dagon and Sulio were good friends. It's just when they got a little too much, they'd call each other all manner of things. It could get quite a... That night, Sulio was in great form. Dagon and I were laughing about some of the choicer ones later. Yellow-toothed dung dweller. We bought it. It may look strange on the outside, but it was just their habit. Their way of passing time during these dark nights. Listen, if the soldiers think that...
That bit of information will help with clearing Dagon, but the Onderon military won't let him off. Maybe some of these people will know.
Know him. I was cleaning up stakes from a particularly rewarding Pazat game when I heard a loud sound outside. I grabbed my blaster and went out the door. She was quite dead. Blood was everywhere. I heard a noise and saw Dagon Gent coming from his office across the court. The next day, they picked up Dagon and several other people in the... Just outside the door, but...
It might be a good idea to look at the crime scene. We fought many soldiers in the Mandalorian Wars. The Onderonians were certainly brave, but they were disorganized.
Get me out of this circle. I feel like I'm going in a terrible roundabout.
Nobody we talked with mentioned a droid. This droid was destroyed recently.
Welcome back. That would be Bohema's SOD-2. No, SOD-3. Or is it 2? Whichever one it was, he keeps losing them. I remember when I arrived, it was... Who knows? Sometimes the slum dwellers shoot his serving droids for fun. This part of the quarter is... When Dagon and I were waiting for the soldiers, we had to chase off some scavengers that were... No, I'm afraid there was quite a crowd growing. We were seeing if there was any way we could help Sulio. There was nothing we could do, of course. I'd much rather talk about something else. Focusing on the next...
Excuse me.
Do you have a view? Oh.
Good to see you again. What?
How the hell did we get back around the Nico? It doesn't even make sense.
This room is... Huh. That Bith keeps buying droids, and the scavengers keep stealing them or blowing them up. Seems he's finally given up. The waitress is awful, but she's... I wouldn't tell you even if I knew. I could tell you where you could find the part. That western square has the perfect fence for droid parts. There's a droid vendor called 1B8D. That droid is 1B8D is quite handy. Quite a few of...
Heard of any good finds?
No. Yeah, no. I have not watched anything this week. I've been in Mortal Kombat.
I won't
all
remain
week.
silent any longer. The Republic has actively attacked us. They attack our spaceships unprovoked. What next? An invasion? Perhaps they seek to conquer us. Will you stand idly by? Will you let them bomb our city? No! If Queen Talia is so removed that she won't do what the people so clearly want, then we must show her. With force!
That's it, Ponlar. We're taking you in. You've gone too far.
Brothers and sisters, let us rise up now! Sacrifices are inept. The time of patience is over.
He's right! They're arming. We need backup. We could use your assistance. Try to disable them. If the mob... We have no time for this.
Kill!
I'm quite busy right now. Perhaps later we could talk.
I mean, damn. I mean, damn. Like, why? None of that was necessary. You killed him? And there's no one around. Like, it just goes black. Apparently it's my fault. You didn't do anything, man. What am I supposed to do? Freaking Jedi. I'm not gonna get in the middle of any of this. This is your battle.
Please tell me you're an off-worlder. But this is good news. You have a starport visa, right? I can only sell my best weapons if you have that. These soldiers and...
Watch it, Keg. The captain already has enough...
No need to be alarmed, my foreign friend. General Vaklu is concerned about well-armed insurgents. They've had to get arms from somewhere. I can only sell to off-worlders like you that have the proper... Of course, soldiers are only doing their job. Even if it puts me out of business, I am happy.
Good to know. It's not what we're doing right now. Oh, glare at me? Bro? Where's the droid? Where's the freaking droid? Hey! Yo, bro!
Back again, off-worlder?
Wasn't that you? No?
You're cleared to go.
I don't see this droid. I do not see the droid, and I need to eat and do podcast prep. So I think that is where today's stream is going to end. I mean, that we will save here, and that will be a reminder when I come back of what happened. I will go, wasn't me. So, on that note, I want to thank you for hanging out. I want to thank Big E for coming through. I wish you a fantastic weekend. I will be on the M Nerdiverse Live podcast tonight with Mike G, talking the things of the week. And I wish you all a very good Friday morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be. Wash out.